Okay, so after many, many nonstop days of dialing all this in, it's happening. So I had the two cabs here. I pulled them. I'll play this for you. You're gonna dig it. You're gonna dig it. What I had a Mesa 412 with greenbacks, and I had a Mesa 412 with vintage 30s. But because they were side by side, I couldn't have my third guitar rack. So a bunch of these guitars were up in the rafters, and I don't know. I'm just in such a great space with, like, I'm just enjoying writing and recording. So I just wanted them all out. And there it is. There's my little Gretsch with Filtertrons, my Telly, my Jazzmaster, my Strat. I love this guitar. I use that. That WCR Les Paul are definitely the most used. This is an Epiphone Les Paul. This is mostly for live. This is my Les Paul standard. This and this Yamaha here are with 11s and E flat. These are all in standard. Here's my new Mark Holcomb 7-string. Look at that 7-string. Paul Reed Smith with the new little truss rod cover. I got my P bass with quarter pounders, and this is the bass. This is kind of one of the things that really got me sparked on wanting to step it way up, because when I got this bass, I was like, oh wow, this is very cool. This is an Ibanez electric headless EHB 1505 MS multi-scale, but EHB is electric headless bass. That's killer. My Dano 12. This is my PV Forenza, like P90s. I've been using that on rhythms. And then my Martin, my Taylor, and my 12-string. So what I did was, the other night, instead of sleeping like a normal human, I took both. I had two cabinets. I had the two Mesas. I put them upside down here. Maybe I'll insert some photos or not. I always say that and forget, but I took two greenbacks out of one, two vintage 30s out of the other, and flip-flopped them. So now they're both the same. It's in an X pattern. So this is vintage 30s. That's greenbacks. And I know some people say, oh, vintage 30s on the bottom, greenbacks on top. I get that. But for whatever reason, miking lower speakers, floor speakers, doesn't work in this room. So I didn't want to. This is how I wanted it. So, and basically, I just took the mics that were on the vintage 30 cab, put them here. The mics that were on the greenback cab, put them here. And it really sounded great. I was shocked. So, and now I can mix and match it. I can have like the amp going with like a 57 on the vintage 30 and a TLM 102 on the greenback, or whatever, however I want to do it. So yeah, I'll play that for you. My Maxless is still here. I don't even have it mic'd up. I don't know how much I'll use this. It's 4 ohms, but and I'll just put it, because this is what I love. Look, there's room. Look at this, and people are coming here who want to sing acoustic guitars. And so after a lot of, I'm going to go through this in the video. I have a couple of ways of splitting off signals and how I want to record. And basically, I just want to keep this simple. I want to have a primary sound, and then I want to track a DI. And with the DI, I can use for reamping. And the least intrusive way to split for what I have here is I go into the DI, this A Designs KGB, and then I use the through, and I can go out to the amp. And then if I'm using the amp, I basically go into the DI first. So I track my DI, go to through, into the amp into the SIR or into the cab, and then record. Or if I want to use the FM9 as my first source for guitar, then I would go into this, and then the through goes into the FM9. And the sound differential between plugging straight in and like plugging straight into the amp or plugging straight into the FM9 and using the through in this, it's marginal. There is a hair of difference, but it's the best I can do. It's better than the radial. We'll try to get the Little Labs thing. I couldn't get this the way I wanted it, so I just use this that's my ring amp box, which is awesome. And yeah, so that's really it, man. That's the whole deal. I'm just using 4 amps. I've got my 800. I got my vintage JMP. I've got a dual rec, and I got a matchless. That's it. And yeah, and there it is. So look, Bo's excited. You want to shoot a video, Bo? This has really got to be the end of this. So I don't know if I'd call it a series, but whatever this is, look at that. Oh, he's so happy. Chunky. All right, so we're going to make this brief, but here it is. So, and you know, everybody, I've been reading all the comments about how people are splitting things off and using, and you know, I was trying to make this thing work, splitting off from the fractal. I just couldn't get it happening, and I don't go in SPDIF or USB. Like I just go in analog. So I don't know. I'm getting great guitar sounds. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way. Actually, what's the best way to work? So what I've realized is this. I just like to always track a single sound. I mean, unless I was doing like a stereo thing, like where it was 2 amps and they were like in that song JoJo, like the that's like the Mesa Clean and the Matchless, and that's simultaneously. That's fine, but I'm probably not going to be doing that stuff anymore. And if I do, I'll just use the Axe Effects because I've got it set up for stereo for 2 amps, 2 cabs, left, right. It's easy. But I just want to focus on a primary source. So the 2 primary sources that I use is either an amp, which I've got Marshalls and Mesas and Matchless, or the FM9. So if I go into the amp, let's say I use my JCM 800, and that's like my primary thing. What I want to do now is I want to record that amp, but I want to record a DI at the same time. Or let's say I like something on the FM9 is the sound that is the primary sound, then I want to be able to record the FM9 and then have a DI. And the best way for everything, and I have the Little Labs ready, I have the radial headlight. The Ready I use for reamping. I don't know, it's like it needs phantom power. I'm not putting it into like mic pre's, so I'm going straight into, with all this stuff, I'm going straight into the converters, straight into the patch bay, right into the converters. So after much practice and testing and reading all the comments, which I really appreciate, all the comments, this is how I'm going to do it. I have no more, I have to like work now. I can't have no more energy to like, you know, I tried putting a output 3 in Axe Effects and trying to get that into the thing, and it wasn't working, but all I had was TRS to TT cables. There was a bunch of like, I just don't know exactly how to do it, and I don't care. This is actually really great. And I don't think that this would be any less or better than however I could do it. So basically I plug straight into the KGB, right? And let me see if I have a photo of this here. I was looking these things online. Yeah, right here. So this is the A Designs KGB. I go into the input, and then out the back is my beautiful DI. I've just been setting everything flat. I use it in low mode. Sounds great. Great DI, right? I mean, this is like a serious DI. And then the through will either go to the amp, which then goes to either the cab or the surreactive load, or the through goes to the Axe Effects, the FM9, and then that's it. And that's it. That's That's the extent of it. I'm not going, when all this really started about 6 months ago, and I was having problems. I was getting noise. I could really hear it when I got that first Mark 7. Because I don't know if it's the plate voltage in those amps, but those amps are just like noisy and just like a pain in the butt to deal with. But it really brought to the surface that there was like some holes in the game here. So it's been a process of stripping everything away and just making this stuff simple, man. So there you have it. So what do I say now? We're going to play some of this stuff. All right. And keep in mind, it's the best I could do. I don't know. I don't think it's perfect, but yeah, that worked fine. Yeah. So here's going into the KGB and then into the FM9. And here's going straight into the FM9. It's a little louder. I did mess with that was Nate's idea. He says, well, if it's coming off the split a little lower, go in and you got a global input for the guitar. And I just brought it back up because I did notice that when I plugged straight into the amp, it was like a little louder. And then when I went through the KGB, it just there was just like maybe, I don't know, like a tenth of a dB or whatever. But with guitars hitting amps, you as a guitar player, you can hear and feel it. So it was a little different. So I did that. So yeah, here we go again. KGB into the KGB with a DI, and then out split to the FM9. And then straight, and now this is straight into the FM9. Yeah, maybe a little, I don't know. I mean, here's KGB. A little more low end, just a touch of low end more than anything going straight in, and that's it. And then here's the DI. Oh man, getting the party started. But keep in mind, I'm done experimenting. So I don't want to know. If you got better ideas, just don't tell me, because I don't want to go, maybe I should go, buy 17 splitter cables and a passive DI, and I need a Countryman, and oh wait, no, you know what I need to do? I need to gut the whole studio and buy Megami. Not doing it. It doesn't matter, man. I don't get paid for that. Here is KGB into KGB with the DI, and then into the through goes into the Marshall, which went into the Surreactive load, which has a own hammer rectifier IR. So this is not the cabs. So here it is. So this is KGB with the split. And here is straight into the amp. Weird, it gets really bright right here. I don't know, maybe my pick was different. I don't know, maybe my picking moved, but yeah. So there it is. So here's the split off the KGB. And straight in. Yeah, it's, with this, honestly, I kind of like the split off KGB a little better. What's going on with the KGB now that I'm doing this and I'm hearing it again and again, it's just like a little bit less low end. So you know what you do? You go to the amp and go click, and it's done, and you move on. You don't worry about it. That's it. So, and here's the old DI, same thing, right? Okay, so that's what we're doing. And that's it. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm calling Uncle. And here are Here's the guitar cabs. So here's the guitar cab. So check it out. So let's make this active. So again, remember we had two cabs, one with all four greenbacks, one with all four vintage 30s, but I didn't want two cabs. I'm not using cabs as much anyway. You know, I'm doing, I'm going to use cabs, but I'm liking what I'm doing here too. So here is four mics, right? So I got just as though I'm treating the speakers just as though they were in two separate cabs. So on the vintage 30 cab, I had a 57 and a Biodynamic M160, like ribbon mic. And on the greenback cab, I had a 57 and a TLM 102. And you'll see it's the same thing here. Vintage 30, 57, vintage 30 M160, greenback 57, greenback TLM 102. I put all of those mics up. And it was like almost perfect just by eye. I just went boom, 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 boom. I started playing. I'm like, wow, that sounds really good. All four mics. Perfect phase. Well, I think I just slid the 102 in. The 102 is picking up a little bit too much. And again, so this is just a straight blend. Everything here you'll see is flat. It's not boosting anything, or they're all the same. So here's two speakers. Two mics per speaker. And I got the tick-ticks in the beginning with the phase. So it's real nice. Hey, here we go. It's like the brother of TNT, the band TNT, but it's the brother that they keep up in the attic, and they try to tell the neighbors that one part I got all like I went Ronnie LaTecra, but like low vibration. Anyway, there it is. There's all four. That's amazing. That was by eye, dude. If anybody does this kind of stuff. So here's vintage 30, or here's vintage 30 57. Here's vintage 30 M160. Greenback 57. Greenback 102. And that's kind of cool. I would say if I was going to do like just greenbacks, this would be like more the blend probably. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. But it's cool because you can go like this. So let's say you've got your vintage 30 on your vintage 30 with your 57. Sorry, my ear is itching. Now bring in the 57 on the greenback. And the 160 on the vintage 30. Let's get rid of the 57 on the vintage 30. Oh, yeah, that 50. Yeah, and then let's say we're going to bring them all in. We'll just bleed in this TLM 102 on the greenback. Yeah, that 102 gives it like some evil heft. 10,000 lovers in one. I met that dude. I asked him, I said, can you still sing that high? I was like, damn. Oh, well, there you have it. There you have it. So, That's it. That's it, man. I tried everything that I could get going on, and that's where I'm at. So, and I'm happy. I think it sounds great. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me, man? That's killer, man. Because really, what this is about is getting on that guitar and throwing down, man. All this stuff doesn't matter if you ain't gangsta. All right, so let's listen to the amp and the DI. And let's listen to the FM9 and the DI. That DI it's always funny. That's actually a nice DI. This is the A Designs KGB instrument preamplifier, I think he calls it, or instrument. I don't know. It works as like a DI and a preamp. Yeah, that's a great DI. All right. Yeah, I don't know about that radial anymore, man. I don't think I'm. It always seemed like it was awesome, and now it sounds like it's messing with the sound, man. The A Designs is way better, way cleaner. And it's got a ground lift on it, so I've got ground lifts I don't seem to be having any problem. One thing I did notice is that I could have the ground on the KGB when I did the FM9, but when I used the real amp, I had to lift the ground. And it probably has to do with maybe it has tubes. I don't know. I don't care. But there it is, man. Ladies and gentlemen. 1 cabinet, 2 speakers, 4 mics. That's going to be nice, right? And then I can use an IR, which this is not going to be as awesome as that probably because it's just a single track. That sounds great too. You can pump that up. I mean, this is more because there's bandwidth, but yeah, this is going to be great. Man, they have come a long way with this stuff. Anyway, there you have it. I'm going to make this video, and because I got to get my kid over to his friend's house because it is day 1 of summer. School ended yesterday. Both my kids graduated. I'm so proud of them. One left his school, or 2. They both left their school. My youngest graduated elementary. He's going into middle. My other one graduated 7th. He's going into 8th, but so they're both gonna. My youngest is gonna be in middle. My oldest is in middle, but we're shifting middle schools because the middle school that we're shifting to funnels into a much better high school, and the time to do it is now because if my oldest son doesn't do 8th grade at this middle school, he's not going to be in the, I don't know what you call it, but the pipeline to get into this better high school. And that's it, man, So, yeah, they're both going to a school. It's going to be downtown. So it's going to take me like probably with everything, with traffic and with waiting in the line to drop them off at school, it's going to take me like an hour and 20 minutes in the morning. So they were, what did she say? They're 8 to 3? I think they said 8 to 3, yeah. So that would mean get out at like 7:15, get home around 8:30, give or take. Definitely 7:15 because getting into downtown in the morning is a scutch. No, it's not too bad. I mean, coming from LA, it's like nothing's like, LA is like another dimension of torture. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 mics on 2 speakers in 1 cab. Dude, that sounds righteous, yo. All right. Peace.